Welcome back everyone. First of all, I apologise for the lighting situation. I have got the main light on and I've also got the window open, but it is starting to get really dark here. It's middle of November, so my craft room's on the other side of the house and the sun is always that side until late evening, so by the time it gets here at this time of the year it's still dark anyway. So before I get into the cross stitch stuff, I'd like to just let you know that I have downloaded an app called Stitch Pal, and what that is it's basically this app that I've been hearing about that you put your progress into, and it tells you if you give the app a goal from when you want to finish your cross stitch, it tells you how many stitches you need to do each day to get to that goal. So I did it with Lord of the Rings, because if you've seen any of my other Flosstube videos, I said I'd give myself 7 years to stitch the Lord of the Rings pattern, and that would mean I would be 40 because I started it on my 33rd birthday. So according to the app, I need to stitch 271 stitches a day to get to the target of 7 years. Now at the minute I am typically stitching 200 stitches a day. Sometimes it's more than that. There was 3 days this week where I did just over 200, but the other days I was actually doing under 200. So I don't know if I need to do more than that. I think at the minute I will stick to the 200 as the goal for each day, and if I can do more than that, brilliant. And then when it gets to, say, like halfway through the cross stitch pattern and it still says I've got 271 stitches a day to do, I might do more, like speed it up a bit to see. But if anyone's interested in this app, it is called Stitch Pal, and also what I'm going to be doing from now on is taking pictures of my cross stitch patterns, because I noticed I haven't been taking pictures of what it looked like when you last saw it. So the more starts that I do, the harder it is going to be for you guys to remember what it looked like before I showed you it last, and the progress that I've done, because I know I've got one coming up for Christmas that I want to do, and I also bought another cross stitch pattern. Well, it's actually a kit, and we'll talk about that next. So before we talk about the purchase that I made, the kit, this one goes hand in hand with it really, and it's the reason why I went out and bought it. So I'll show you the progress of this one. This is Gamer Girl, and this is by Medusa Dollmaker. Now if you saw last week's video, I spoke about how I was very worried that this was so grey, because somebody actually commented on the last video saying it was supposed to be like a denim blue, which I agree with. It is supposed to be a denim blue colour, and I wasn't very happy, so I decided to go diagonal. So instead of filling this whole page in, I thought, sod it, I'll just come right down to this one. Now I spent, how many stitches did I do? So I did 220 stitches on this, and I can tell you right now that this picture has just been run through a generator and not been looked at. So I'm in an iron whether I wanted to carry on with this, and the reason for that is, I don't know if I can show you. So you see these grey ones here, they're staggered like this, and this is a massive sign on any piece that it's just been run through a generator on a computer and just shoved up on Etsy for sale, which I am really disappointed in, because it's actually from the actual artist. I don't know if it's because they don't know how to chart cross stitch patterns, but it means that there's going to be a lot of confetti and there's going to be a lot of the staggering of stitches, including the background. When I actually looked at the mock-up properly again, do you know, I wish I'd learned my lesson with these things, because I actually I actually chart my own cross stitch patterns, and I should have spotted it straight away. When I looked at the mock-up properly, all the background is like that, so it's staggered. And I was looking at it for ages, and I ended up putting it away for the night. My partner was like, just don't bother doing it, you already know that you don't like it, because I was staring at the pattern keeper like with a big old frown on my face. But thinking about it over the last 2 days, I am still going to stitch this. And the reason for that is because I think it will come out okay, but it's going to be a real pain in the bum to do. One, because there's going to be so much confetti. There was random like stitches of just one colour in there which were unnecessary, but I've already bought all the floss for it. I don't know what else I'm going to use it for. And I still like the picture. So, after telling you that Gecko Rouge, the ones that originally had this kit, are getting rid of all of the Medusa doll maker kits, I went and had a look because FOMO hit me, and I actually bought a pattern, so I will put it here. It's my favourite Medusa doll maker image, and then this was my second favourite. So I was so tempted to buy this from Gecko Rouge and just ignore this one, but because I've already spent so much money on this one, I thought, you know what, let me get the one that's my favourite before it disappears. And I think I'll be waiting a while for that because I got an email from Gecko Rouge, and they said that during busy times it can take up to 8 weeks to get these cross-stitch kit. And I'd imagine that there's going to be a lot of people at the minute buying the patterns that they want before Gecko Rouge stops selling them, because they haven't given a specific day on when they're going to stop. I looked at the Gamer pattern and it was, I think it was an extra £30 more than the Addams Family one that I did purchase. So I was like, do you know what, let me just finish that one, but it won't be a main goal of mine to work on that. Every now and again I'll pick it up, but I'm not going to be going out of my way to stitch on that one, unfortunately. I will just focus on the kit that I bought and my other cross stitches. So one night this week I did a small amount on Intrusive Thoughts. Now I only did 99 stitches because every day I do the 200 stitches on Lord of the Rings, and it's now at 20.86%, and all I did was fill in these legs here. Now this is another one where it is confetti, but it needs to be. So this is one that I charted myself. It's available on my Etsy shop if you want to have a look at it all. But this is a spider's leg and it's mostly black. So the grayscale type of patterns do need to be confetti heavy, so I'm not worried about that. But yeah, it's coming along nicely. I basically just did some on that leg and some on this leg. And I am really happy with the progress on that one. And as I said, the reason why I want to start taking pictures of things is because charts like this, where you can't really see what I've done since the last time, and I don't pick this one up every week, so I will do a before and after starting from this video. So you'll see this will be the before picture, and then the next time you see it, you should be able to tell the difference in what I've done that way. I think that will help people as well as me, so I can see what progress I've had. So next is my stamped kit, and you won't really notice much of a difference on this one. I used this for a tutorial this week, and we were filling in the flower. I haven't done that much more on the face. I did work around here, but again, it's really hard to see on this one. I'm aiming to work a bit more on this one this week. I did tend to do a bit more diamond painting when I was homeschooling instead of cross stitch this week, because I am behind on my diamond painting as well at the minute. So yeah, it's getting there, but it doesn't look much different. I probably did about an hour and a half this week. So next up is Darth Daddy, and unfortunately didn't really get that much done this week. I did 511 stitches, and that gave me a total of 44.15%. And the lighting doesn't really help with this one that much, but all I basically did was fill in a bit more of layer and then the surrounding background. I'm trying to get this way so I can get to this last page here. Let me just put my head in the sunlight. That might help. Yeah, it's getting there. There's a little bit more colour gradients coming through now, and I am going to try and work on this one a bit more because I would have liked to have got a few more stitches than 511 on this one. Okay, so I'm going to quickly put this in the middle of the video somewhere, but I asked on the last Flosstube if anybody wanted this kit. It's a pineapple postcard, and I asked if you wanted it to put pineapple in the comments. 3 people did, and I just done a spin the wheel, and Crafting with K won, so congratulations Crafting with K. I think I already have your address, but just send me a message on any platform that you like, just to double check, unless you want to send this to somebody else, or you know, if you want it to a different address. So congratulations Crafting with K, and as I said before, for people that are overseas, I will eventually do some sort of giveaway for a PDF pattern instead, so I don't have to worry about posting it to you. So yeah, at some point we will do another giveaway, probably when I reach 1,000 members. But congratulations, and I will get this sent to you as soon as possible. I'm just going to move the camera slightly out of the way of the window. So next was Venom. Now with Venom, if you haven't been here before, I like to work in grids of 4, so 400. So I usually only do the 4 squares, and then I stop for the day, which is what I did last night. So I did exactly 400 stitches, and that gives me 15.81% as my overall total. I don't do this one that often, but when I do like to make sure I finish the little 4 grid. There, he is looking really good though, really good, and he's another one that is fairly confetti heavy, but last night there was a fair bit of black in them bits there. And if you've never seen Venom before, he is on 25 count, easy count Lugana, and I do half stitch, so I do 2 strands half stitch. Mostly on all of my pieces. On Darth Daddy it's 25 count, 2 strands half stitch. On Intrusive Thoughts is exactly the same. The only one that's different is Lord of the Rings, which I'm about to show you now, because Gamer Girl's the same, that's 25 count, 2 strands half stitch as well. But the only one that's different is Lord of the Rings, which I will get now. So here is Lord of the Rings. Still coming along really nicely. Now I didn't get as much stitches as I did last week, surprisingly. I actually didn't do that many stitches this week compared to last week, and last week I thought I didn't do that many, but it turns out I did more than this week. So I did 1,238 this week using the method of attempting to stitch 200 a day, but as I said, some days went over, some days went under, but I did stitch this one for the full. No, that's a lie, because I went away Sunday, so I stitched for 6 days this week. That's probably why I'm not seeing so much progress this week. But the pattern is looking really cool, and I'm really looking forward to moving this hoop, because after this page, we're going to be going that way. I'm going to do the entire strip first. And then we'll come back down to this bit. I did think about doing this entire bit, but I kind of want to see the first strip, and then if we want to, if I feel like it, I'll do it in columns as I go along later on. But this one, as I said, this one's going to take me ages. Apparently, according to Stitch Pal, I need to do 257 a day to get to 7 years. So we'll see. Typically on a day like today, where I don't have my son, every once a fortnight, I will sit and stitch on this one. I usually pick up this one and stitch during the day instead of at bedtime, so perhaps I can get some more done today while he's not here, and then that'll give me a bit more progress as well. But he is at, I don't know why I keep calling it a he, 2.23%, so we're over the 2%, and I am very happy with it. It looks really cool. I can't wait for more details to come through on this one. Obviously the first row is usually pretty boring anyway, but I am really excited about seeing this one. Just super quickly before I go, Lord of the Rings is stitched on 28 count, easy count Lugana, and it is the same, it's 2 strands, half stitch. Sometimes I feel like I wish I'd done 1 strand full cross, but I am still happy with it, and I'm just going to keep with 2 strands half stitch. But the rest of my patterns are typically always on 25 count half stitch with 2 strands. So that is everything for this week. I'm not sure what I want to work on next week. I'm going to give Gamer Girl a break, because she really frustrated me when I found out that nothing else has been done to her other than throwing it through her computer And I actually noticed, I went on their Etsy website and they've actually put the price up, so it's double the price of what I paid for it. And there's actually more charts on there now, so whether they've gone back and fixed the pattern, I don't know, because there's more charts on there. They haven't got any bad reviews or anything, so nobody's actually said something, but I don't know if anyone's really noticed. I think, like, I've learnt my lesson with that pattern to actually check the mock-up and check the pattern before I go and buy all of the stuff for it. And I should have known better, because I do chart my own cross-stitch patterns. But it's not the end of the world. Like, when I first saw it, I was really annoyed, and I thought, you know what, it's just a pattern. It's not going to make a huge difference to the outcome of the pattern. It's just going to be a real pain to stitch. Because computer-generated charts like to stagger the colours through each other, and it comes out in these like blocks of stitches all the time. You can see them on the mock-ups if you look. I'll put a picture of part of the chart, not the actual pattern, but of a mock-up of the picture. And if you look closely, you can see the blocky gradient colours going into each other, and that is one surefire way to show that it's just been thrown into a computer generator. Hopefully they have fixed it for future purchases for people. I have noticed she's got loads more that I really want. I just love her artwork so much, but if they're all like that, then I don't know if I want to do it. So I will go, and I will see you next Monday. As I said, don't know what I'm going to be stitching next week. I might do a spin the wheel. I haven't done that for a while. And then we'll see. Probably Lord of the Rings and Darth Daddy as always, because Darth Daddy, my goal is to finish those 2 pages before Christmas. And that is it. But I will, next Flosstube, you will see before and after pictures of everything. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll go through my whole stash and take pictures of everything before I start stitching on it, if I pick it this week. And we'll do that, and hopefully that will help people see my progress a bit better between weeks. Okay, I will see you next week. Bye bye.